Welcome. I wanted to share some ideas for addressing one of the common obstacles for meditation. And this is one of those barriers that's so common. It's addressed in most texts about meditation, and that's sleepiness. When our bodies become still and relaxed, and we begin to work with the mind in a state of meditation, sometimes what happens is we fall asleep or we feel sleepy. And this can be because we're used to falling asleep when we get into a relaxed state and a meditative brainwave state. Maybe that your system associates that with sleep. It's worth noting that we're also chronically under-rested, most of us, and so we may really need sleep. And once we come into stillness and really start to notice how we feel, sleepiness can start to take over. It's important to get sleep. That being said, if you want to meditate and your focus is meditation, there's lots of ways that we can work with that obstacle of sleepiness when it comes up. One thing you can do is meditate seated instead of lying down. And that works even for a form of meditation like Yoga Nidra, where we are going into a relaxed state in the body. You can sit in a chair or in another piece of furniture. You also can lean against the wall. I've chosen not to do that just for filming, but you can take your back against the wall, sit up on a cushion or a pillow, and then take a long rolled blanket like so. Bring your feet together, cross one foot over the other. Wrap that blanket roll behind your ankles, crossing the blanket behind the ankles. And then when you recross your legs, you'll find that the blanket provides a lot of extra support for the legs. That can feel really nice for some people, especially when you get the height and the thickness of the blanket right. Okay? So you can do lots of things in a seated position to provide yourself with enough support that you can still get that meditation experience while still being upright. You also can meditate with your eyes open. Sometimes this is really helpful for folks. You can set an intention at the beginning of your meditation to stay awake. Okay? Intention setting is not magic, but declaring your intent to stay awake sometimes can be helpful for keeping the brain focused on the practice that you're doing. Sometimes you can do something like having a hand suspended. If you're lying down, you could have one elbow on the floor and just have your hand lifted. Or you can hold your hand up somewhat off the edge of your leg so that as you start to fall asleep, your hand drops. And that can cue you to wake up. So setting up some cues like that in your body, although it adds some tension, can be really helpful for bringing you back into awareness that you're falling asleep. So those are some of the things you can do. It's also worth noting, as someone who leads or guides a lot of Yoga Nidra practice, I find that even when people fall asleep, it's often not the same as when they take a nap. So they're a little bit more aware of their surroundings. They may still be hearing my voice. They may still be doing the practice. And so if you're using a recording or you're being guided live into meditation, know that it's normal to feel your consciousness shift, okay? To feel like you're coming in and out of sleep. And that can be part of the process that we go through in meditation. It's not the end of the world to sleep when you need sleep. And if your purpose is to meditate, sleeping is not quite the same as meditation. So it's helpful to have some ways to work with that feeling of sleepiness if it comes up. If you have questions, I'd love to hear them in the comments. I hope that this was really helpful.